hey, you ought to do it out the righteousness.
That's what it say.
You know, that's what the scripture says. Right?
But you gotta do that with your spirit.
You gotta do it with your spirit.
That's something that the spirit covers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just like you was going into the polarity between the flesh and the spirit. That's the scriptures, that's the spiritual covetousness, man. The little man inside covers that.
Right. Right.
That's why we speak about the scriptures like honey. Don't overconsume the honey. It's the spiritual food, man.
So if you see brothers getting down in the face, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be like that brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't want to be like the Puffy and the Jay-Z, but you more so like the Apostle Bahar. The Apostle Bahar and so on and so forth.
Yeah, because the Lord gave you a leader.
Yeah.
He said you would see your teacher.
That's right.
You know? I was just going to get there too. Psalm 37. Can you grab it? It's a little more here though. Yeah, one more verse. And I want to get this word vows for you.
Right.
It says,
that goes into your mindset.
God.
You know,
God.
Because what happens when you sell your soul? Does that mean literally you sell your soul to the devil? No. That means that your morals, your values have been compromised. Your integrity has been compromised. Integrity goes into what? Innocence. Right? So Pop, Jay-Z, all of them niggas are sold out, man. And they are devil worshippers.
They cast away vows.
Right. And when they say they believe in God, which one? Right. Which one?
Right.
That's not his name.
That's right.
They believe in the God that's on the money.
That's right.
The same God that Esau Edom said he trusts in. The God that's on the money, which is actually safe. That's right. It says, for such an one setteth his own soul to sell, because while he liveth, he casted away his vows.
He cast away his vows. He lost his mind. He gave up his integrity, his morals, and his values. So in order to come up on the left-hand side, you have to play with left hand in that.
Yep. And this is the word vows in the online etymology. It says the transferred sense of the viscera as the seat of emotions. It says especially inner parts and the seat.
So it's going to what your spirit, your conscience, right? Your conscience. Go ahead.
The seat of pity.
The seat of what?
Pity. Which pity goes into mercy.
That's right.
So when these elites come to these celebrities like Jay-Z, Diddy, and they sell out, they getting them to get on this platform to be an influence to feed our people wickedness. When you listen to the content of what they put out there, right? Because it's all about putting a message out, right? And Esau Edom don't want you to put a message out that uplifts the people he got in captivity. He don't want you to do that.
You know, so crazy. Everything breaks the law, statutes, and commandments. The R&B, that shit all went into adultery. Drill music, murder your brother. So everything that goes against the scriptures in the Old Testament, because remember, the Old Testament is still relevant. Yahweh said, I came not to destroy, but fulfill. So what Esau does is, hey, this is what you're gonna do, Usher. You're gonna think about what adultery. Yeah, keep cheap. You're gonna rap about murder. And all of this goes against the law, statutes, and the commandments.
Not that these guys are men of the Lord.
Right.
But Chicago produced some pretty good MCs.
Right.
You had Lupe Fiasco,
Right.
Common,
Twister,
Common.
Yeah.
So why did they get pushed to the back?
Right.
They put the darkest,
New York.
The
country rap.
man, I was listening to Talib Kweli the other day.
Right.
I'm like, man, whatever happened to Talib Kweli?
You know what happened? It was popping.
The New York niggas sound like down south niggas now, man. So, but why does your slave master wants to put the worst images out there for you, man?
Worst product.
But go ahead.
Now, you remember Free Like You first came out?
You
it was like the power.
Yeah. U-N-I-T-Y. Nigga, listen to some of that old stuff. It stimulates your intellect.
It does.
Make you want to read a book or some shit, man.
Right. Got the answer to the question. This is Jude 5:20. Now, therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error or sin against this people, Israelites, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome it.
Don't you understand that the powers that be, the Edomites, they know that our kryptonite is sin?
Right.
As long as we are in a state of sin, we're going to be stuck in America. And if you're stuck in America, you're going to die.
Right.
There's too many algorithms that produce death for the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
NBA Youngboy, Sexy Red, Glorilla,
Glorilla.
they are agents,
Archetypes.
the archetypes that you're supposed to follow is going to lead you to die.
That's it.
And if you don't die as an individual, it's going to perpetuate the death of your nation. You see?
Right. That's right. I got you my real
Go ahead.
This is Psalm 83 and 2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee lifted up their head.
They that hate thee lift up the head. Who is them that hate us? Primarily small heads.
Right.
All right, the ultimate nation of Esau, Edom, and all the other nations. To lift up the head means to come into power.
Right.
We were once in power. I don't know if you familiar with the book of Psalms or the author of the book of Psalms, King David, Solomon. Those are so-called black men in power. And when they were in power, they had the other nations under subjection. So the powers that be currently, they remember that.
Right.
So now they're in power. So they're going to create systems to keep us out of power. All right, go ahead.
It says, they have taken crafty counsel against our people.
A crafty counsel, rap music, Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah.
All of that is crafty counsel.
Feminism.
Feminism.
Because the facade is that it's a movement that the people created. No, it's something that the elites created.
Yeah.
And they'll push it out as a movement. Black culture, you know?
And what does black mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And what is water light? What does culture mean?
Yeah.
Develop.
Yeah.
Develop without life.
Yeah.
Develop it to death.
Cultivated in death.
Cultivated in death.
Which promotes sin.
You know your
That's
nationality?
right. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. Even
I'm
now.
already one of you guys.
Huh?
I'm already one of you guys.
You northern kingdom? You northern?
Huh?
You northern kingdom? What's your tribe?
What I'm saying is, I'm already like,
Because she
over
don't know.
all of this stuff.
You know about
I'm
Israel.
already like,
Okay, but what tribe you from? You know your tribe?
oh, no. I don't
Okay.
know
What is your
that.
father?
My father?
Yeah.
Oh, my father's mixed.
He's mixed.
What's his father?
Philippine, Italian, he's mixed. My mom's black here.
So you know you're
But
Israelite.
what I'm saying, I speak six, okay, listen, I'm a doctor of languages. I speak six languages. But for me, I've studied, I've been every religion there is. So I'm 43, but I lived my life studying all religions. I did Muslim, I did everything. And I've become like awakened over the past last year. So I know everything you guys talking is true. So basically what you're saying is, like the twins that were born. So what they did is what they're doing now is basically stealing our inheritance, basically, because it's kind of like, you see all the people coming in for marrying with us, Americans over here. So they still trying to steal the right to stay in power. They have their tricks, they have their things. So yeah, I understand it all.
Well, you know, we see people come up here
That
and
man
listen.
I don't follow.
That's right, sister. That's
No,
right.
that man I don't
We
follow.
see people come up here and listen, and I just ask you to, I ask questions
Yeah.
to see where you are.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, but oh, you can.
Hey, I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
Who do you call on?
I call on Yahuwah or Yahusha.
It's the correct.
That's not the correct name of the Heavenly Father or the Son. But you say
I'm here
you
to
say you
listen.
speak six
I'm
different
here to
languages,
listen.
right?
Yeah, I'm here to listen.
So I don't know if you're asking you speak six different languages. Can you name them?
Yes.
Name your language.
German, Arabic, Spanish, Portuguese, Oromo, Romanian.
All right. The Lord spoke Hebrew.
Yeah. So
No,
that's
nigga,
what I'm working on now.
And Joshua could die.
Yeah.
All right. Then he spoke Palo Hebrew. So his name in the Hebrew, got it right here. It's right here. It's right here. Yeah. Right
Yahweh.
What is it called?
Yahweh.
That's the
Oh,
Heavenly Father
Yahweh.
name.
Okay, Yahweh.
Not Yahuwah.
Yahweh. Okay.
Yahweh. And that's the Son. Or what they
Beautiful.
call Jesus Christ.
Looks like him. Yeah.
You see his name on here?
Yeah, I do.
This is a Palo Hebrew.
Yahweh. Yeah.
No, Say it slow. Yahweh. Shah.
Yahweh.
No,
Yahweh.
Yahweh. Shah.
Yahweh.
There you go. Y'all break it down. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a name in the Palo
Yahweh.
Hebrew.
All right.
You know?
I'm sorry,
Well,
but
you got it.
you know why it's Yahweh side?
Yeah.
You ever heard the name Jehovah?
Yeah.
It's a mistransliteration.
Makes sense.
Jehovah is
Oh,
a mistransliteration. So let's break down the syllables in that, right? Jehovah. G. There's no J sound in the Hebrew. The J came along around with the 1700s.
J 15, 20,
I'm saying correctly. 15, 24. Prior to that, there was no J sound. and there's no E sound in the Hebrew. The Hebrew language is ah, ba, ga, da.
Yeah, no vowels. That's kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
The
there's
only-
no A, E, I. There's an I.
No U's,
No U's, no O's.
the ah and the I sounds are the only two vowel sounds in the Hebrew.
Right, so where there would have been a G and then Jehovah, it would have been Yah. Okay? So the ho sound is in Jehovah. All right, there's no O sound in the Hebrew. You know what it would have been? Ha. So it's Yah, ha. You go on Wikipedia, right? You look up the letter V. You look up, as a matter of fact, brother, can look up the letter V in the Wikipedia.
Yeah.
There's no V sound in the Hebrew. The V is from the Hebrew or the Semitic wa. So there's no letter V. It's wa. Like you look at the word, the letter W, it's like a double U or double V.
Yeah.
But so to break down the four names, we broke down the syllables, is Yah, Ha, Wa. You see? And that's where they get the
Yah,
mistrans.
Ha,
Yeah.
Wa.
And that's where they get the mistransliteration.
This is what he's showing you right here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
He breaking down to you.
Makes sense. Yeah, I got it.
And that's where they get the mistransliteration,
Yeah,
Jehovah.
it makes sense.
You,
Yeah.
you see?
But look, but it means, like you say, Yahweh means what? He is this. It says existence. The what? The proper name of the Wikipedia what you got. Proper name. His name is Yahweh. And he is the people.
But I got a precept though.
So, what do you guys call yourself?
This is like,
It's not what we call ourselves.
It's what we are. Yeah.
It's what the Lord called us.
Okay, but you know what? From my understanding, you're coming from right or wrong, but from my understanding, the Jews, they left, they left Israel, right, because of what was going on. They actually fled to, like, they fled to other surrounding cities like Somalia, Ethiopia. They fled to places like that. Plus the black, plus the
Talking about
two
70
Jews,
AD.
the Israelites. I'm talking about the two Israelites, right? Because the Jews are there now. They're not the real ones, right? So we fled. We fled from
Roman
war back in
persecution, 70 AD.
yeah. We fled back in the day. That's why now they have established the Jews over in Ethiopia. They have established that they're also Jews. They haven't actually allowed them to go back to Jerusalem. This was like a few years ago. So basically, we're supposed to be descendants from them.
No. You know, but let me tell you the history on that. When we got kicked out of Israel around 700 BC, the northern kingdom, they got kicked out of Israel, they were replaced with Ethiopians.
Yeah.
Called the Sumerians.
the Shalmaneser the fifth.
Yeah.
That's
So-
why we got that. Come on. That's why when you jump to John the fourth chapter, you had that Sumerian woman talking to him because she was implanted from Shalmaneser the fifth.
Yeah.
Back on you.
But they're not biblical Israelites. Those are called Philistine Jews. All right, which are really fake Jews. But once again, they got there from their forefathers who were implanted in our land, like how he broke down. So we didn't leave Jerusalem and as a collective go to Ethiopia, and that's not who we are. Those people in Ethiopia are from the sons of Cush.
But all the same, they're still part of the 12 tribes,
They're
right?
not.
They're not?
Oh.
So who are those?
Ethiopians are Hamitic.
Yeah, they have
No, I'm not talking about Ethiopians. I'm talking about the Jewish tribe that's
no,
in
the
there.
Jewish tribes.
No.
They go back to the Amalekites.
Oh, okay. So this is. So let me ask you a question. So the 144,000 come from these people, these 12 tribes. Okay, so the reason why I got on my spiritual journey when I was younger, because at 16 I had a dream that I was on Mount Zion, and back then I knew him as Jesus, but it's not his name, you know. But I was putting his sign on the 144,000 people. I was putting his sign on their forehead. So I've always been inquiring about religion and spirituality because of that. So that's why I've been Jehovah's Witness, I've been Muslim, I've been 5% New Orleans, 1%. I've been like literally everything. So my search, and I wrote a book about this because I did my awakening last year, and I wrote a book that's on Amazon for sale called The Awakening Within, Your Dream is Your Savior. So like this is so I'm interested to like study or learn more about what this guy teaching. But yeah.
I get a free cell.
I got Can I get this right quick? Ephesians 4:14. I'm gonna start at 13. It says, "Till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of the Most High, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of a Mashiach, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about."
Different philosophy. Right? If you're an Israelite, the only thing you're supposed to be into or delving into is the philosophy of Yahweh Shemashah. And that information is inside the scripture.
I have a question.
That's all you need.
I have a question. Do y'all keep the feast?
Yes.
Y'all keep the feast?
Yes.
Y'all keep the Passover?
Yes.
The Feast of Pentecost, all that stuff? That's what I believe in, and that's what I know to be true. Yes.
But it's what is written in the scriptures. Right.
Yeah, and you're supposed to keep the Sabbath day holy.
Yeah.
I believe in all of that. So I've gotten out of traditional religion, and I've back into like keeping the Sabbath day holy. That's why I'm like driving around in my car.
Well, you never left religion then, because our nationality, our heritage is our religion. So part of our heritage is keeping the feast that you just mentioned. I know what you mean by what you just said. You're not a Jehovah's Witness no more. You're not a.
Well, what happened to me was I got involved into this Korean church one time called the Church of God. And when I say, guys, I listen. I've been preaching since I was 8. I'm 43 now. I've been preaching since I was 8. 3 kids, you know. But literally, the reason I know this is to be true is because when I was in the Korean religion, that is the only church that I have been to that kept the feast. And I think we were doing the Passover and the Feast of Pentecost. Well, it was one of them. But I was visited by an angel. I really was touched by an angel. And I would go out and preach, and people just knew it. And that only happened from fasting these feasts. So I know in my heart that that's the truth. But to me, that Korean religion was a bit occultish. But, like, I know that is the true path. So I just got back on that path. You know, and that's what it is. Yeah.
So what you say about
and I've been seeing y'all around. I've been trying to keep, get in contact and talk to you guys and stuff.
Done the video, the GMS, great meal time.
But y'all have a place that y'all study here? Where y'all can study?
This is it. We
study like a place where we study like an actual building? No.
Well, my condo is downtown. Y'all can study there too. No, I don't need a husband. I got money. Look, I'm a Spanish teacher. I work for the government. I don't need a husband. If God gives you one, fine. No. What I'm saying,
No. Let me
one up you.
Okay,
Let me
say why.
I have to one up you. I have to one up you because this is the thing. I'm one of those women that I can take care of my own life. I leave the home, I travel, but guess what? I'm not one of those independent ones. I don't need a man because yes, I do. Because I need that protection. I need that covering. I need that covering. I need that protection of my husband.
You need that
I understand that. But I used to be a person who I went most of my life looking for that, and that was like my thing. And I married and divorced. And now, because God called me as a prophet when I was 28, literally, He came. I promise you, I was reading the Bible, but I don't know. It's what I heard. It's my true thing. I'm telling you my experience. But it happened to me. I heard that said that you're a prophet, and I threw the Bible to the wall to the hell if I am. And I went through hell. I was 28 then. I went through hell ever since then. And now I'm at age of 43. My daughter's 25. My kids are 24, 21. All I want to do now is live whatever God wants me to do. My purpose, whatever that is. So, and anything else I don't care about. I don't need a husband, kids, money. It doesn't matter. But your life is not your own, right? We're here to awaken. God awakens you. You have to awaken people like you're doing. Like you're doing.
Your spiritual journey, how can you be saved? In your spiritual journey, you going without different religions or churches. What's your take on how you're going to be saved?
Me?
Yeah.
And my ultimate belief now, as I get every religion,
right. How can you be saved?
I have to believe in whatever y'all say Jesus' name is. I have to believe in Him, and I have to keep the Passover. Yahweh. I have to believe in that person, Yahweh, because I said Yahweh, but Yahweh, and like the Passover, keeping His commandments and keeping those things.
No. What's your take on how you're going to be saved? I got you. He said basically believing in your house.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have to. But other religions, like I'm gonna tell you, my father, he's like strict Christian. He's all this. Oh no, we're saved by grace. We don't have to go like that. I'm like, no, father. I'm like, no, father, because my thing is this is okay, I'll tell you, by being Muslim for 17 years and learning Arabic and praying in Arabic and dealing, and honestly, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. Out of all the religions I've been, I've experienced God in each one. So I'm not gonna say right or wrong, but I've experienced God on each one.
Now
However, but wait, but listen. But I will tell you this: God has a problem with Muslim people because they're so